G'day folks, Commo John here, Saturday the 23rd. How are you? How are you everybody? Listen, pretty busy day today. I went to the Brisbane Freedom Protest there today and I got some footage. I'll put that at the end of this and so you can have a bit of a look of the march itself. Look guys, just my thoughts. I'm just passing on my thoughts, okay? Brisbane. Okay, look, numbers, mate, for halfway through that rally, that big protest, we had about 500 people. It grew to about 1,000 people, okay? Grew to about 1,000 when the talking started. And by the time the march started itself, and I'm not marching, mate. I'm not fucking marching, blowing whistles and banging drums and all that fucking shit. They can stick that up their ass. So I went into the casino so that I could get up on the balcony and look down onto George Street and try and get some footage of the march, so I can get some count, so I knew how many people were there and sort of get a bit of an idea. But more so, in case there were any agent provocateurs, put inside of the march to start a fight with the cops or to damage property or any of that. I wanted to get a nice high perch and zoom down on it with my GoPro just in case I needed some evidence, mate, of some of these infiltrators and agent provocateurs in case they tried to, really damaged our reputation and give the fake news pissheads some footage so they can bag us in the evening. So I went up there and I looked down and, by the time the march went through, my estimates, about 1,500. That's it. Okay, 1,500 people. Now, I got to tell you, mate, that is a piss poor number. It really is. I mean, my goodness, there has been a massive build-up to this, a massive build-up. I mean, I've seen nothing but vote no over my social media platforms that's been thrown at me for weeks now, and then all of the corporate media, we've seen Jacinta Price and some of the others out there prosecuting the argument to vote no. So I would have thought, look, minimum 10 to 15,000. Look, we've had 30, 35,000, maybe more at earlier marches, right? And, but 1,500, mate, oh dear, oh me. Now, what could it be? What's the reasons for this, mate? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll give you my views. You take it or leave it. I don't care, mate. Again, I'm not trying to sell anybody anything, mate. I don't give a rat's ass if you believe one fucking word I say. I mean, no skin off my nose. But look, I think first and foremost, people are tired, mate. Look, we have a freedom movement, and more broadly, a nation that is severely traumatised, mate. They have been belted from pillar to post for 3+ years now, and they're worn out. Everyone I talk to is tired and emotionally stretched to the limits, and so I think that's probably one of the reasons why low turnout. I think that's probably it. Another reason may be that they are concerned or were concerned that there might be trouble, by insurgents and agent provocateurs and so on, and that might have sort of kept some away at home, or kept them at home. That could be another reason. The other one, maybe they just didn't want to show their hand. They made their mind up, to vote no, but they don't want to show their hand. Okay. But the other thing I think that's staring us in the face is that all these protests, mate, have been flogged dry, mate. They've been flogged dry by these fucking organisers, mate. Up here in Brisbane, mate, this fucking tricky, mate. What a dog. What a fucking dog. Oh, fair dinkum, mate. He's milking this fucking movement for every cent you can find. I mean, the whole, all around you could see was merchandise, making money. I mean, uh, it's got to have cost, I don't know, 100 grand or more for scaffolding, sound equipment. They rented trucks. There's, all sorts of merchandise. I mean, this is a business. You've got to get it, mate. You've got to get it that in this freedom movement, particularly the protest movement, but not just the protest movement, the truthers as well, the alt media truthers, right? They don't see you as, or even themselves, mate, as freedom fighters. They don't. They don't. They see you as a market. You're a market, and there's a fight going on. There's a contest going on amongst all of these pissant gatekeepers, right, to carve up the market. You get me? And that's what's happened. I mean, you have been carved up, right? And they're divvying up. They're divvying up. They got no intention, mate. They got no intentions of really going in hard, trying to they got none. And I mean, at this stage of the war, I don't care. I really don't care anymore because, look, I know that there's going to be a global military response to all of this shit, mate, and it's coming. It's coming. No one knows when. No one knows exactly how these cards are going to get played, but it's going to come very soon, in my view. The Sydney March, I've heard. I haven't caught up on everything, but yeah, there we go down there, mate. Look at the way they cross-promote each other. Look at them. Aussie Cossack, look at him. Roland the fucking cop. Roland the fucking ex-cop. Who trusts fucking ex-cops, mate? I don't. Fucking dogs. And then you got Dave O'Negs, the fucking rest of them. Over in Perth, I've heard, Hoodie, pissant Hoodie, the fucking big Qantas fucking pilot, man, the fucking hoo. They wouldn't let Ricardo speak, I've heard, and all that. The same shit, mate. There is massive censorship going on. Massive censorship. You get me? And it's not the cops, it's not the government, mate. No. It's not the corporate media. It's the freedom movement. It's the freedom movement, mate. They are fucking shutting down topics and speech and people with opinions everywhere. And they're divvying it up amongst themselves, right? Have a look at who's connected to who. Have a look at who promotes who. Have a look at the only ones that are allowed to speak. I mean, it stands out like koala balls. Surely you can see it. I mean, it's obvious for me because I've been swimming in this shit for years. I mean, I just know. I mean, I can see it. I mean, bang. Easy for me to pick this shit, mate. And you've got to remember, mate, look, again, on one hand, I don't really care, mate, because, look, I'm not in it for anything. I don't care. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you the truth or anything else. I don't want any money. I don't want any votes, any positions, any jobs. I'm not going to give you any T-shirts or coffee mugs or anything. You get me? Ever. As soon as we win the war, right, totally, and take the rubbish out, it's the last time you're ever going to hear from me, mate. You will never hear from Commo John again. I'm going, mate. I'm out on my boat, mate. I'm going. I don't want to see half the people in this movement again, mate. I'm serious. You'll never hear from me again. So that's why I can talk straight to you. That's why I can be confronting and all those other things, mate. Because I don't care. And, and I'm not scared of these grubs. These gatekeeping fucking grubs. I'm not scared of them. They don't scare me. I mean, I've got that fucking rabid United Nations fucking lunatic fucking Cole the socialist, mate. Fuck, he wants to tear me from limb to limb. He's running around telling me I'm a chicken and all this shit. Oh, fucking juvenile, mate. This is a comedy sketch, mate. It's a comedy sketch at this junction of the war. Don't despair, everyone. Don't despair. Despite the gatekeepers and despite all this shit that's going on, be assured, mate. There's a much bigger play coming into view now. It's starting to become more apparent. The evidence is telling us all of these things are now starting to get traction, and you're going to see a big cleanup. It's coming. Now, what these pissants in the freedom movement and the alt media, what they've got to realise, and everyone else as well, me included, right? We have left the old world. We've left 2020. We are never going back to that life. That life is dead. It's finished. It's never going to come back. We are never going to go back to that life and lifestyle. You got me? We are in a transition. We are in a transition of 2023 and then on to 2024, right? And it'll probably go again longer than that, mate. This transition, you go. We are going from the old world to the new world. And the new world, mate, is going to be vastly different because we're going to remove all of these institutions and all of this admiralty law, maritime law, contracts, and all that sort of bullshit, you know. And so don't despair. Don't despair. The pissants, in the freedom movement and the truth movement, mate, you know, they think they're going to be able to take all of their greed, all of their ill-gotten gains, all of their silliness from the old world into the new world, and it's not going to be allowed, mate. We're not going to tolerate this going forward. It's not on, not on. Look, Martin Luther King, mate, once said, and I'm not praising Martin or whatever, you know, but by Jesus, he come up with some very, very good quotes. But he said, look, we need men who are, you know, in love with justice, you know. We don't need, you know, smart lawyers, and, you know, we need people who are in love with justice, you know, people who are in love for freedom. They love freedom. And we ain't got them in the freedom movement, mate. You've got hijackers. You've got, you know, gatekeepers. You've got people who want to make money out of this shit. People who want privilege, position, and power. You get me? I don't know who they represent or who they're tied into, and I don't give a fuck. I judge them, not who I, you know, they're fucking turn back caps and their shirt off, doing all their fucking burpees and all of their aerobics. I don't judge them by that. I judge them by their fruits. Their fruits. Okay? You judge me by my fruits, mate. Don't listen to what I tell you. Judge me. Look at what I'm doing. Right? Now, I'm not trying to build anything. Right? But I'm not trying to build any organisation or any group or anything else. You know, but tomorrow, you know, I'm going out to Esk. I'm doing some public work out there, public speaking, and helping some regional farming people and that out there at Esk. Got high voltage power lines going through, and you know I'm going out there to help them. Monday, I'm going down to Speaker's Corner to lend my support to those nurses who've been sacked and still can't get their job. You know, I've been up to Rockhampton. I travel, I do all this sort of stuff. I don't want anything. I never want anything. I don't care, you know. For me, judge me by my fruits. I speak freely. I know I'm confronting. I can't help that, guys. I can't help that. You've got to understand, I've had a really, really, you know, interesting life, and I've been hardwired. I've been hardwired, and I'm an alpha male, mate. I don't like pissant beta males, mate. They shit me to tears. They're as weak as piss, mate. I mean, they're only one step removed from a fucking lesbian, as far as I'm concerned. You get me? They're almost a fucking lesbian or a transvestite. You get me? Oh, mate. No beta males for Commo John. And I mean, I'm sick of this shit when they keep telling you the way forward, you know, for your own, you know, it's to get fit and all the rest of it. They won't fucking talk about, you know, the poisons, you know, that they're pumping into our food, pumping into our water, pumping into our fucking thing. Yeah, what fucking good? Seriously, guys, seriously. You know, what good is doing burpees and all this fucking shit while you're drinking fucking gallons of poisons and gallons of tainted food and all this shit, mate. You know what I mean? These idiots, mate, they are fucking clowns. Either they're ignorant, right, or deliberately ignorant, which is worse, or they've got an agenda. They're plugged into someone or whatever it well may be. I don't care. All I know is they ain't one of us, mate. They are not one of us. I tell you, but anyway, no one listens to old comms. No one. I mean, that's why the country's fucked, mate. No one listens to old ex-communists, mate. We try to warn you. We do. We try to warn you. I mean, we're like the Freemasons. We show you. We tell you. We put it in your face, and you just don't want to know. But it's your problem, mate. I mean, you know, I'm going to fight this fucking war, you know, I mean, non-stop. Everyone's tired of war. They're not Commo, John. I'm not fucking. I'm having a fucking ball, mate. I am a human wrecking ball. You want to? I'm here to smash the old system, mate. That's what I want to fucking smash it, and then get a free country. And then as a free country and as a free people, I want to get it rebuilt. Not me. I don't build nothing, mate. I drink, I fish, I love boats and all that shit. You can fucking build what you like. After we get a Second Amendment, mate, I'm getting a 50 fucking caliber machine gun up on my Samson post on the bow of my boat. You come anywhere near me trying to build any of your shit, mate, I'll fucking liquefy you and put you in a fucking bucket. You got me? That's where I want to go, mate. I only need my family and half a dozen of my friends for the rest of my life. That's all. I don't need thousands and thousands of fucking viewers and friends. I don't want to be famous. Now, I've done all this, mate. I've done it. I've had more power, political and industrial and financial power, you get me, than all of these fucking clowns put together. They are fucking nobodies. I mean, where did they come from? I'll tell you where. They were pre-positioned. Mate, to infiltrate and take control. You are a market, mate. You're not a nation. You're not a fucking their community, mate. You are a market for them to cut up and divvy up and exploit. And that's what's going on now. Oh, dear, oh me. Listen, speakers today, just a couple of comments, if I may. You know, look, I never had any problems. Look, there was an Aboriginal lady there, the opening speaker, very fiery, lovely lady. I've forgotten her name. You know, she was great. You know, she got up and, you know, really spoke from the heart. And yeah, I enjoyed her contribution. Tricky Tritty, once again, no Lord's Prayer. He hates our fucking God, mate. He hates our God. He will not fucking allow the Lord's Prayer. He put on another fucking smoking ceremony. I mean, while that smoking ceremony was going on, this pagan fucking smoking ceremony, I stood there quietly and I allowed and I said the Lord's Prayer, mate. I don't like this fucking pagan fucking smoking ceremony, welcome to country, or any of this shit, mate. I don't like it. I don't support it, and I never will. You get me? And I don't care who I fucking offend by saying that. I mean, Sam Newman, what a fucking legend. What a legend. But look, this Aboriginal girl spoke very well. I tried to hang there as long as I could, but when I knew the march and all that was starting to come up, I went into the Treasury Casino there and got up onto a balcony and tried to get some footage down there. All right, guys. Look, I'm going to try and catch up what happened around other parts of Australia. You know, you know, if you did go, you know, drop something in the comments. You know, let me know how you went and what you felt. You know, I'd love to hear some feedback. I got plans tomorrow morning. As I said, I'm going out to Esk. I'm going to try and help these farmers and landholders out there. Monday, I'm going down for the nurses to lend my weight there, just like I did last week or the week before with Dr. Billy Bay. You know, I don't know these people, mate. I don't know Dr. Billy Bay. I don't know him, you know, but, you know, I try to lend my weight where I can and, you know, and be useful. I am the most underutilized asset in this freedom movement, mate. No one wants to use me. No one wants to touch me, mate. I am fucking radioactive. Too hot to handle, Commo John. Too hot to handle. But you know, I'm just going to keep pushing on. Don't fret, everyone. Seriously, don't fret. The bullshit's going to come to an end. All these fucking clowns, mate, they're all going to get found out. They're all going to get found out. I had a little bit higher hopes for that fucking Aussie Cossack, mate. You know, at first, I just thought he was a serial public pest. You know, a fucking useless fucking fat cunt. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was a public pest and kept the cops and the council and all that. So I thought, yeah, okay, good on him. You know, it's all lightweight nothing burgers, but he's annoying them. Just like all these common law fucking people and that, they're fucking lunatics, mate. Lunatics. You can't reason with them. But because they keep the magistrates' courts and these courts tied up with and all this sort of stuff. I love them for that. I love them for that. I don't hate anyone, mate. You get me? I got no time for it, mate. I'm not looking for white hats to save me. I've been saved. God saved my miserable ass last year, mate, in the floods, man. I was dead. I was fucking gone. And I'm sure, mate, I'm sure he saved me just to fucking spite these bastards in the freedom movement. I'm fucking sure of it. Because, Jesus, I'm putting the fucking boot into them. But the Cossack, mate, $100,000 I've heard from TNT radio. They stack the stage with these politicians. And I mean, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. Cossack is trying to bring 2020, that world that we are smashing. And we want to fucking, get rid of it. He's trying to bring it forward into our new world. That's what he's trying to do. And it's all excess baggage. And he's not going to be allowed. He's not going to be allowed. I mean, have a look at the alt media. We have spent now several years destroying the corporate media. We have destroyed them. I mean, it's exceeded my expectation by a country mile about how effective we've been. But have a look at the alt media. Look at the migration into now the alt media. And what are they doing? They are rebuilding exactly the same structures, the same business model that we've just spent years getting rid of. And they want to pre-position themselves as being gatekeepers, of information, and gatekeepers of who gets heard, who gets who gets on the airwaves, all this sort of shit, mate. There's some great people out there in the freedom movement, mate, who just can't get their stories just can't be told. You know what I mean? So they're trying to rebuild exactly the same business model, and they want to run it. They see you. They don't see. They're not freedom fighters, mate. They're not. They just not. They see you as a market to exploit and to divvy up, and that's what they're doing. And they're all working together. Look at them. They all, four of them apparently came out on TNT radio, led by the Cossack, to have a go at Guru. Now, let me tell you this, mate. I had a big falling out with Guru, mate. A fucking big one. With his interview going back a year, last year, mate, I think it was. December, January this year. Over his interview with Dave Oniggs. I thought it was a fucking piss weak fucking interview, and he let him off the hook. And fuck, I was angry. And, but no sooner did Bosey and Guru stand for the New South Wales Parliament, I come straight out of the gates and uploaded and went straight onto the airways to support both Dave Guru and Bosey. And why? Because this war is not about me and this is bigger than me, mate. And I have to rise above. I've got to rise above. All of us do have to rise above the personal sort of issues that we have, and we've got to act and conduct ourselves in the best interest of our nation, our communities, and our families. And that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I've declared it, mate. I'm a man of faith. I'm a servant of God now, mate. Every day I get out of bed and try and be a fucking good Christian. Some days I'm successful. Other days I'm a fucking miserable failure. You get me? And but I'm trying. I don't want anything from anyone. No one owes me anything, mate. I don't owe anyone, mate. I'm fucking clean, mate. I'm clean. And I'm very comfortable in the skin I am in. I'm not driven by greed or anger or power or any of this shit, mate. I've had all that, mate. It was a burden to carry when I had it. It really was, mate. It was a burden to carry, and I don't want to carry it anymore. I love the simple life. I just want to be left alone, mate. Really, just left alone. But they've woken me up. They've put me and my family and my country on, their futures on the line. They wanted to kill us, all that sort of stuff, mate. And they've been killing us, mate. So I've got no choice, mate. I've got to come out swinging. And the only thing I've ever asked, mate, is that all of you people out there who follow the channel and participate in the conversation out there, is that we are fighting the same enemy and the same war, and we just want the same outcome, right? Which is freedom, sovereignty, safety for children, and return of stolen wealth and all of our assets that they've stolen off us. That stuff. That's all I've asked. This is not complicated. Doesn't have to be hard. There's never going to be any unity in the freedom movement, mate. Never, never. I'm telling you, you never. These gatekeepers, mate. Their job is to make sure that never happens. Never happens. And anyone that's got the capability of pulling together some unity, mate, they're just going to be locked out, mate. Locked out. I can see it. Now, again, I don't care, mate. I'm not suffering, mate. I am not suffering, mate, in this war, mate. Sure, it's tough going, but unlike others, I haven't lost jobs, I haven't lost family, I haven't lost this, I haven't been bashed and all the rest of it. Yeah, I've been charged and convicted. I'm now a criminal and all that sort of shit. But that's a badge of honour for me, mate. I'm in the history books now. I've got my fucking war medals. You got me. So it's for those people that refuse to listen and wake up and refuse to recognise what's going on, and there's just a lot more of them. I hope I hope the country gets screwed down even tighter, and I think that's coming. That you wait, mate. Look, we've won the war, mate. We've won the war, but our enemies, mate, haven't got that telegram yet. You get me? And as they come to that realisation, they are gonna convulse, mate. They are gonna convulse with desperation, and they're going to get very dangerous. Very dangerous. Be careful, everyone. You are witnessing the death of probably an ancient cult, mate, that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, mate, that's been ruling this earth, mate. That's what you're witnessing, and all of their youthful idiot minions, mate. They've got millions of these bastards. You are witnessing their slow death, mate. They are being roasted over a hot fire, and they're convulsing. They're convulsing. They can't win. They cannot win. And when the penny drops that they can't win, as it is now, right now, they're starting to wake up to that fact. They are not running us down. They don't have the gas in the tank. They don't have the horsepower to fucking push over the top of us, mate. They can't pull it off. And mainly because they can't crush America. You get me? Donald Trump and the military in America, mate, has stonewalled them, mate. Stonewalled. They can't take America, therefore it collapsed. It is collapsing under its own weight of lies and deceptions, right? It's collapsing, and corruption under its own weight, right? What's happening, you just get a mountain of deception, lie after lie, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. And what we are doing is we are reaching in to the bottom, and we are pulling out one truth. And when you pull out one truth from the bottom, the weight on top starts to bear down. And the more we pull out this truth, and then we pull out another truth. Now, we've pulled out so many truths now that the whole weight of their mountain of deception, their layer upon layer of lies, it's now coming down. It's now crashing. You are witnessing the death of an empire, the Roman Empire, mate. That's what you're witnessing. Wow, what a time to be alive. Stay well, everyone. Be cool. Be happy. Don't get distressed. Don't let these fucking grubs lead you astray. We are exactly where we need to be. Take care of yourself. Get right with God. Get right with God. I'm still not right with God. I just shit myself, mate, because I don't want to upset him. I'm fucking sure he saved my ass just so I can, just to spite all these pissheads, mate. I'm serious, mate. I mean, why else would he fucking save an old fucking left-wing Commo union man? Be cool, everyone. Love to you all. Be in touch. Keep going. Keep going. Don't tell them to get fucked. Fuck them and then tell them. Thank you. Commo John out. Up here! Up! Hey! Go get him! Vote no! Hey, Chief! Good on you, bro! G'day folks, Commo John here, mate, on Saturday the 23rd of September. Just got some great footage of the protest march against the voice here. I'm at the Crown Casino, I think it is, or the casino, Brisbane Casino upstairs, so I can get a little bit of footage from a good height. And numbers wise, I don't know, I reckon about 1,500. I reckon 1,500 is going to pull it up, mate. A bit disappointing on those numbers. I mean, a lot of momentum went into this, but 1,500 here, I don't know. You have a look yourself, make your own judgment, but I've done quite a few, crowds and counting crowds, but I reckon 1,500 is going to pull it up. Anyway, Commo John, that's it for me for now. Thank you.